Hi everyone, Maxine here with Tink and I Treasures. Welcome back to my studio. Today I have a little quick little project for us. It's cute little tag holder. So inside I've done some embellishing, but there's pockets at the top for tags. You could also use something like this for, any number of things, maybe budgeting or something like that as well. So maybe put your bills in here. I don't know. So there's a lot of things you could use this for. I just have tags in mine. And then I've done some embellishing on the pages. So I have little pockets here and here. I've used some ephemera that I had in my stash that just didn't seem to work anywhere else, but for some reason I really fancied these blank labels for this project. So anyway, I started to do some of that. And then I have a little charm here that hangs from the side, and they're sewn in the 3 pamphlet stitch with an extra loop for the charm. And then, as far as the closure goes, you could think of all kinds of things to do. So let's get started. It's an easy project. It takes 3 pieces of paper. So I have right here my papers for the inside, for the pockets. And so you want to start with a square piece of paper. It can be any size, but it needs to be square. So I'm using 12 by 12, which is what this one, I use 12 by 12 for this too. And the size of your little booklet is the size that's half of what you started with. Okay? So it just depends on what size you want. So when you fold it in half, this is the size that it will become. Okay? So you take your paper, make sure it's square. Like I said, any size, just make sure it's square. You want to fold up the paper so these ends meet as much as possible. I know some paper, it's a little bit harder to do that than other paper. I'm not sure why, but you fold it one way and then open it up, turn it around, and fold it the other way. And just try and get your corners matched up as best as possible. And I know it's like I said, some paper, it's a lot easier to do that than other paper, and I'm not sure. You want to take your bone folder or whatever you use to get nice crisp folds. Okay, and you want to do that with the second one. Now, if you have something that is definitely a direction, you might want to keep that in mind. Also the paper you're using doesn't have to be real heavy paper. I'm using pretty heavy scrapbook paper. It makes it a little bit more challenging when it's heavy, especially in lining up the corners. It seems like heavier paper just does not want to line up as well. So I don't know what that's about. So yeah, just keep in mind if you have something that's a definite direction, which way that's going. So for this one, if I wanted the writing to be on the outside, I would fold it like this. Oh, and now it's upside down. So I fold it like this, and the pocket is on the top here. Right? So that's going the right way. Or you can fold it this way and have the other side of your paper be what's up front. Okay. Also, if you have single-sided paper, single-sided scrapbook paper, that would work well too, because as you can see, you fold it so you don't see this side. So if you have single-sided, that would work too. And then this one, I think I want this to be on the outside. And then fold them in half. This paper is just really giving me problems. Okay. Okay, so now we have our two pieces of paper that are going to form the inside of our little booklet. Now you want to, well, you don't have to, but you might want to notch the top. On this one, I used my utility knife and a ruler, and I made, you can see that against that tag, I made a little V type shape on there. So I just marked it with the pencil, measured it, and marked where the middle is and then coming out. And that's what I did there. And oh, this is filled with our fabric covered tags that we did in a previous video. If you haven't seen that, you might want to check it out. Fabric colored tags, and then we also did tags covered in wallpaper. So that was fun. I like that project. Okay, so on this one, I think I'm going to use my punch just because it'll be a little quicker. Now you kind of want them all to match, and I'm not really sure how many layers I can get through doing this. So I can't get through 4 layers. So this will be challenging now to get these lined up the same, but we'll give it a try here. So I'm gonna put those together and get those lined up. And then this one lined up. There we go. It wasn't so bad. I thought that might be a little difficult. All right. So those are all done. Okay, now we have some ends here that are not behaving, not lining up, and you're going to have that because of all the bulk and everything. You're going to have that. So what I did was I just lined this up with the outside edge and took my utility knife and ran it down here until I could cut all the way through. Now I am rubbish at doing this. I don't know why. Everyone else seems to do a fantastic job. And I muck it up every time. So I really hate even having to do this for anything because I pretty much destroy it. But if you do well at doing that, then, you know, you'll be good to go. So I need to see if I can't fix some of my ends that are just destroyed right now. Ugh. Yeah, I don't know why I can't do that. I see others do it, and I watch them very carefully. And, yeah, but I don't know why it is that I can't seem to do it. Okay. There. That's good. That's nice. That's okay then. All right. So now you could sew. So we want to close up this end. You could sew if you wanted to, or just glue it. I'm going to go ahead and glue. And you want to use a liquid glue. You don't want to use like double stick tape or something like that, because double stick tape never dries. So if there's any part of the tape that sticks out, anything you put in the pockets will have a tendency to get snagged up, you know, and get stuck to that double stick tape. So in applications like this, you know, where like for pockets and stuff that you're going to be putting things in and out, and the double stick tape could be exposed to something you don't want to get stuck, then it's best to use a liquid glue. Any kind of liquid glue. I mean, you don't have to have anything special. I've seen people use just plain Elmer's, you know, clear Elmer's. I've actually seen crafters using just plain, you know, clear Elmer's, like this. So I don't know. I have a bottle here, but looks like I have used some of it. I'm not sure when, but yeah, I thought, well, why not? I mean, art glitter glue is so expensive. Although I prefer the Reptile, which isn't quite as expensive. But, you know, it's still far more expensive than Elmer's. And Elmer's has been around a long time, so it's not that it's not a good glue, right? Okay, so my edges are still not perfect. Oh, well. All right, so here we go. And we got our sides. Okay, now see right here, that's not matched up very well. So we just want to trim that. So yeah, just take a look and make sure. There's another one. So as much as you try, you know, paper seems to have a mind of its own. So if you want to ink, now would be the time to do that. Fold that back and get that. There we go. Oops. Oops. Quick. I'm just using ground espresso. That's my favorite one. But, you know, you can use whatever you like or prefer or what goes with the paper you're working with. It's always fun to use a different color. You know, I like getting out my blues and my greens and, you know, the different colors and use those on occasions. So, you know, if you've got a color that would go better, then I would say use it. Huh. Now I got something weird going on here. Yeah, this paper is... Okay, so now we got our basic thing done. We're inked. We got our notch. Now we want to add our cover, which is the third piece of paper. And this could be anything. It could be paper from the paper pad you used, or it could be something else that you have, a digital, I don't know, wrapping paper. You know, you'd have to back it or something, wrapping paper. But, you know, I mean, your cover could be anything. So here's the cover I have. This is paper from this same pad. And I did a little bit of embellishing here. I actually put these on and sewed around. I sewed around the whole thing. I don't know if you can see that or not because the thread is just, it's not showing very well. It's kind of a cream color thread, so it's pretty much fading into the background, as it were. But yeah, I put some pieces on there and sewed them down. So you know, you could do all kinds of stuff with this. You know, and it's a nice, fun, little quick project that, you know, if you're in between journals, and that is sticking up. I don't know what's happening here, but I need to fix this. If you're in between journals, you know, and you really don't want to start another big project, but you want to do something, well, this is perfect. What is the deal with this paper? Oh my goodness. Wow, it is just, you know, I might need to get another piece. That one is just, this one is too. Okay. Yeah, I didn't have this problem, you know, with that other one I made. So I think something with this paper. I'm not sure what it could possibly, but this is just okay. Where is it? Where is that paper pad I used? Oh boy, that's probably, who knows where it's at now. Ugh. Here we go. Okay. Oh, and if you have a brand strip, make sure and take that off. Okay, so I'm going to do this one. Okay, for that inside. Hopefully this paper will behave better. I don't know what the deal is with that other stuff. Okay, so get a nice crisp fold. Turn it over and fold it again. Line up your corners as best as possible. And then decide, you know, what you want showing. just going to eyeball this one now. See, that's lining up with this one. Oh, I didn't cut that one. See, I almost made a mistake. Yeah, see, got a little bit. So I'm just going to go ahead and trim this down right now. Hopefully that will take care of any problems. Okay. You know, maybe I glued too quickly too. That might have been my mistake. I glued too quickly. All right, so I want this side showing, I think. Yeah, I think so. God, this is just weird. Okay, so yeah, I might have glued too quickly, so let's wait until we get the signature sewn in and then glue down the sides. Oh, come on. Oh. All right. Oh, gee, many Christmas. I'm going to have to wing this one. And these probably won't line up, so. Oh, my heavens. This is really, you know, this is that, oh, blue fern? Is that what they're called? Yeah, blue fern. This is that blue fern paper. It is awesome stuff. I tell you, it is wonderful. If you ever get a paper pad with blue fern, or maybe they're sold by individual sheets. I don't know. But the blue fern paper is really, really awesome. Maybe I'll do it this way. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to have some trimming here. Oops. Yeah, blue fern is probably shouldn't have picked this paper because it is very thick, very substantial paper. Probably wasn't the best choice for this project. You need something that's not real flimsy, but you don't need really heavy either, if that makes sense on your paper. Maybe a, you know, a lighter cardstock would probably be good. Okay. Right. Now, we're going to put these together and I'm going to hold these down with something. Make sure they're all lined up good. Okay, where's my pokey tool? All right, so I hope I'm in frame. So we're going to go in like our pamphlet stitch. So that one, that's going to be the middle right there. Okay, and then the bottom one. I'm just eyeballing. Okay, and then there's the top one. Okay, and then up here, so I went a little bit down instead of the whole length. I started down a little bit. So there's the first, second, and third holes right there. And then up here at the top, up here at the top, we want to make that small little loop. So I put one hole there and one hole there. Okay. Where is my... So this is how we do it. It's the it's the 3-hole pamphlet stitch. So we go in through the middle. Oh my heavenly days. Seriously. How do they... Never mind. So we go in through the middle. And then back out through the top one of the 3. Like that. And then we go up here to this bottom one from the top 2, and then back in through the very top one. And it's fairly easy because you're not dealing with a huge signature. Now that I say that, I'm having issues here. It has something to do with the size of my hole. Might not have been big enough for my needle. I'm thinking that's probably what the problem is here. Okay, so back in from the top one. Okay, so now you have this little loop right here. See that? All right, and then you come down to the bottom. And back in through the middle, as always. Just like that. Okay. Now what you want to do is you want something to hold this loop. So I like to put the handle of my pokey tool, but you could put a dowel in there. You could put, anything that you have. A pencil might be too big. But it's going, so that way you can pull everything else tight and you ensure that you still have that loop on the top, because it's going to be easier for you to add your charms or your danglies or whatever you want to do. It's going to be easier if you have a little loop sticking out than if that got pulled tight too. Does that make sense? All right, so we take that out and now we have this loop. So that's going to be a lot easier to deal with. Okay. So that's pretty much it, guys. From here, you can decorate to your heart's content. You can put in pockets here, or glue other ephemera, whatever, on all these pages. Make little pockets and glue your sides here. Okay. Make pockets. You can sew. Of course, you'd have to sew before you did this if you wanted to sew, but you could sew all around it and do it that way. You could add trim or lace to the ends here. That would be nice. Yeah, that would be really nice to add trim to the ends, or some lace, or something like that. And you could just just sit and make these. I think it's a wonderful little project. It's creative. It gives you something to do that's not too involved, and it's a great way to use up scraps. I mean, you could make pockets out of scraps. So you can, yeah, make pockets using up your scraps and using ephemera to decorate the pages and add lace and stuff to the ends. That'd be a great idea. You know, and then you can make some kind of closure and, of course, you know, add your charm to the top. So just like I had this one here, and then excuse me, and you have these pockets where you can, you know, you could use these pockets for anything, right? You could put tags in there. It's a tag booklet, tag booklet, but you could use these pockets for anything, really. So anyway, that is it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you found that inspirational. And until next time, take care of you, love each other, and I'll see you again. Bye.